start from a butterfly guard position here. I don't want to be sitting back here like this. It's easy to get pushed back on your back. So what you want is your shoulders forward of your hips as much as possible. My elbows should be in, and my hands are here to protect my legs and fight for grips, okay? And so that's the position I'm gonna be in here. I want my hips back. I'm gonna go ahead and to enter into this X guard position, I need to kind of get underneath him, right? And it's hard to get underneath him if he's sitting on his knees. The way we're gonna do it is we're gonna go double collar grip here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna use this grip and my leg to hop my hips underneath him. So I'm gonna get my hips close to my heels and I'm gonna pull him on top of me as I do that. Now he's gonna have to put his hands on the mat if you throw him over enough. So as I come in, I'm gonna pull him like this and really, you don't have to like lift your legs a lot, but it's the rocking backwards that's gonna get him. I'm here, I grip both collars, I'm coming here, and I'm coming here. And here, and you go ahead and put your feet down too. And that's now gives me a position that I can get underneath. Look at one foot slides behind his knee, and one underneath his shoe, underneath his leg. And my back foot hooks. You can go ahead. So even if his hands are still on the mat, now I went under this one hooked behind the knee. So if his hands are on the mat, I went here, this one hooked, just like we did before, except it's even easier to get underneath them. Yeah. As long as their feet are on the ground. If he's not Supermaning like he was doing. Now my back foot hooks under and hooks over the upper part of his thigh. And I really want to wrap my toes like I'm trying to encircle his leg. So my knees need to be open. The more I can open my knees, the more my toes will wrap around their legs, if your feet are big enough like mine. So here. And now I'm going to, again, I'm going to hop my butt as close to my heels as I can, and I'm going to rock backwards, pulling on his collar. So here and here. Boom. His feet are on the ground here. I can hook here, and I'm just going to work my way underneath. And again, I can keep pulling on the collar to keep his hands on the mat. In fact, we're going to just do the same sweeps. Since their hands are on the mat that we did last time, we're going to do that sleeve sweep. Questions on getting underneath them for X guard? All right, guys, grab your partners. You try that.
I'm going to practice on Monty first.
It's the sweep with the sleeve, right? So I'm here, I'm getting underneath, entering my X guard, boom, and I'm coming here. All right, see right away. And I keep that collar. I'm pulling down on his collar to keep his hands on the mat. I get my second hook, and then right away go to his sleeve. Once I have that, I pull his sleeve to me. I extend my legs, and as he falls, I take my foot from behind his knee, and I can come up knee on belly. Getting my hips behind me, elbows in, grabbing the collars. I'm going to hop in and bring him over the top. Boom, and straighten to X. Boom. Find the sleeve, pull the sleeve, extend. My foot comes out from behind his knee to come up to knee on belly. But getting there, again, if you can get underneath them, you can start setting up leg locks. So from here, same entry, coming up, boom, and here. Instead of going under, I'm going to go over and hug it into my armpit. This one's staying behind the knee for the moment. Now my other foot, instead of coming under, is going to come over and push on his hip here. So this one, your heel hooks over their hip, your toes point to the outside. This one, your hips, if you can get your lower back off the mat, that's better. You want to connect your knee to your ankle once this one comes over the top. I stay here while I bring this one over. I'm hooking just my heel over, and then I'm shooting my hips up and connecting. I want to have control above his knee. I'm completely circled here. Coming underneath. Boom, and I'm hugging this right away, and this one's coming over their hip. Okay, once this one's over their hip, I'm gonna shoot my hips up and bring my knee to my own ankle or my own heel. So it's completely trapping above his knee. And this foot should be hooked behind him, okay? It might start here, but we're gonna actually slide here. So he's all kind of sitting on my shin. Same way that we did on Wednesday. I'm gonna grab the collars. I have my butterfly hooks in. I'm gonna scoot underneath and throw them over. So I'm coming here, bring them all the way over here. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to go to that, the foot lock position that we did. So I'm gonna come to the ankle, hugging here, and I'm gonna throw this one up and over his hip. Okay? Once I have that, I'm gonna bring my knee up and connect. The one that I typically go for as soon as I get here, go ahead and stand up so that they can see. But if his hands are forward, I'll probably, it works just as well, but you really want to control their leg. So if you don't get this one up above, if you're lazy here, it's not gonna be as much control. And the control you need is to control which way his knee is pointing. Okay, so if I'm down here, I can't really turn his knee, but if I come up here, now what I want to do is I want to turn his knee out. And the way I do that is I push against his body and see what happens? The weight comes off of his foot. So when I push, now I turn his knee. And I keep twisting like I'm going belly down to bring him to the mat. So he's down and I landed and I'm basically in the same position. This is a perfect position for now attacking the foot lock. We're not gonna attack it yet. I want you to get used to using this as a sweep first. So here, I'm gonna go ahead with my hand that's not on the mat. I'm gonna grab his knee and keep it on my hip. So I'm basically pulling it to me, hugging it to me. This hand now is gonna come up. This foot's posted. And all I'm going to do is I'm gonna slide this knee back, keeping his leg on my hip. What I'm doing that for is so that he doesn't scramble to get up to his knees at the same time. Now I can come up and start working my pass. So I'm here, scooting underneath, throwing him over the top and going here and here. Oh. Now, even if his hand's down, look at, that means his knee's bent. And if his knee's bent, it's actually more of a lever. Push, twist. And again, really twist your whole body towards the mat. Basically, his knee and your belly button should be facing in the same direction, and what you really want to do is point your belly button towards the ground to make him fall. Keeping your knees tight, obviously. Okay, from here, grabbing the knee here, pulling it to me, coming up, and I slide, keeping his leg here. Not like this, because now he can just slide back and come up on his knees and it becomes a scramble. So, same entry here, over the top, come in here, foot over. Sometimes you're gonna have trouble making them fall because they have this foot free, right? So sometimes they can relieve the pressure that's pushing them down by backstepping, so yeah, right? So the minute they do that, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna push them here and bring this leg across. Now that it's on this side, if I do the same thing, the lever is much bigger. So even if he backsteps, that twisting of the knee is going to bring him to the ground. This one's gonna come over and I'm gonna pull it across my hip. I'm gonna pinch my elbow tight. Okay, the cool thing about this one with the leg across the hip now is when I come up, I get up on my knee, I'm gonna bring this arm across their hips and hug their hips, and I got side control. So here, up and over, boom, sorry, I'm getting the belly.
I don't need all my hair.
So as I go, he steps back, so he's giving it to me. So now, this pressure, there's a lot more pressure on his knee to turn it because his ankle's caught on the other side of my body. Okay, same thing. This one's gonna scoop up the knee across my hip, so I'm pulling it, pinching it tight with my elbow. Coming up here, I'm gonna come up on my knee, And as soon as I'm up, I want to get my elbow lower. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to snake, I'm going to drop my shoulder and bring my arm across his hips. What I don't want is to start turning here and he brings his knee, no, he just opens it up into my chest, like this, okay? So I have it here. I want to keep it here, drop my shoulder and then come across. Now if he tries to turn into me, I'm already past.